Any one of you all remember the Prohibition around the 1920s in the United States of America? It was a law enacted to ban the selling, dealing, and distribution of alcohol. And those who started this, the progressives, were pushing this, saying that if alcohol was to be banned and the world would be a better place, daddy will be at home on time, will be with mommy, everybody will live happily ever after. But then what was the consequences of that? Okay, the consequences of that was that the minute the alcohol was banned all over the place, the illegal market and then started to boom. And not only it boomed, it was then an informal industry which was basically formalized and was making a killing in terms of money, fold and fold of a killing. It made people to become billionaires. It introduced a culture of mafias, the mobs, the gangsters. One of them who was known around the time was known as Al Capone. His nickname was Scarface. Some of the rappers are also using the nickname of Scarface. And he became a cultural icon, unfortunately. So I saw an article that stated that even after the corona lockdown, the aftermath, that there should be laws that are going to super regulate the alcohol industry. As you can see now, alcohol has been at the risk of being blasphemous. It's something that I think everyone now is going to blame it from the violence in the house, where the gender-based violence, basically, although gender means male to female and female to male violence, but generally we view it as a male to female violence. So if you ban alcohol, that will stop. If we ban alcohol, there will be no more car accidents. If we ban alcohol, the hospitals will be no longer be full. And so it started with the banning of advertising all over the show in terms of alcohol. I remember when I was growing up in our neighborhoods, mostly our communities, football is a big thing. So if you think of big football matches, football cups, it was always a brand of alcohol or a brand of a cigarette company that sponsors that. I remember JPS, you know, and there was also the Mainstay Cup, which was made famous by a certain gentleman from the States. I think the name was Clarence Carter. When he came over here, um, he had a song where he did a bit of a rendition talking about, you know, of when he wanted to take his moral levels to the bottom, where he then would have an encounteral affair with another man's wife. And he just says, the mainstay, the mainstay make me do it. The mainstay just say, right on, brother. Remember that, folks? So the It looks like the alcohol has always been a scapegoat. You know, back in the day, they said that, oh, the rituals, religious ritual, there was where all sinners would, then there would be a time where all sinners will go to goats, sort of confesses their sins to the goats, and then after that they'll slap the goats to go away and say that all their sins are now gone and are being transferred to the goat, hence the name or the word scapegoat. So now you can see that the illegal cigarette companies or business, it's now becoming parallel with the legal tobacco cigarette industry, the same way as the illegal alcohol trading is gaining a footholding with the legal alcohol business. So it looks like it has been a good and beautiful and wonderful opportunity for the cigarettes and liquor industry. I'm talking about the underground operations, to be able to find channels of distribution, selling, and dealing of this during this time of lockdown. I mean, every township you go to, every town you go to, every city you go to, there is an ample supply of cigarettes, an ample supply of alcohol. By the way, anyone who smokes and who really want to smoke, they go and buy the cigarettes. Right? Anyone who drinks and really would like to get a drink, they're then able to get that drink. So, unfortunately, the pricings, given the articles that I'm seeing, are quadrupled. You know, a 1 rand cigarette sells at about like your 5 rands. You know, it's double the price. The same goes with alcohol. But the sad part of it all is that this multi-billion illegal industry, because of everything is done outside of the book, there will not be money that will be then taxed, that will go to our treasury, which will then be used next year to help kids at school, to build schools, to do the projects that the government always talk about of building uh, flashing toilets for these thousands and thousands of schools. 300 billion rands is already lost right about now. And it seems as if this business is the business where connected people would then jump onto it. By connected, I mean politically connected politicians. Okay? Today's story is of illicit cigarettes worth millions stashed inside a petrol tanker that came from the Bay Bridge today. So, not only the illegal dealing of cigarettes, it's an illegal dealing of maybe perhaps people who are having access to cigarettes in this republic that are now saying, you know what, my business has been stopped right now, so I'm going to try to make some back channels, sell it to the people who would buy it in the underground, who are going to resell it by higher prices. No, no, no. We're having an illegal importation of cigarettes as well as illegal importation of alcohol. Isn't it amazing? Amid all of this, with our stretched resources of the South African Police Services, remember Minister Cele said that is going to make sure that places of liquors are going to be patrolled, because you know that now liquor stores are being broken into, and then people are stealing whiskeys, alcohol, and wine, and then they're going to then sell it also as well, because there's a high demand of alcohol by the people, and they're prepared to pay the higher prices in terms of money in order to get that. And then you have the high risk and the high rewards factors of people who are illegally dealing with these substances now are making a whole lot of money where it's worth it for them to take such risks, because it brings them a whole lot of amount of money. And the sad part about this is that whatever year, whatever month that the government would then be saying that now we're opening up the industry, regardless of the fact that thousands and thousands of taverns and bottle stores would then have closed down now, you know, whenever that time happens, effectively the formal liquor industry and the formal tobacco cigarette industry are now generally having a competition. In other words, as much as now, for by way of an example, if the a cigarette now it's 5 rand, one cigarette being 5 rand, that's illegal cigarette, and then the industry reopens again, the formal industry, and then the cigarette price goes to 1 rand, just for example, at the store, then it's quite possible that then the illegal cigarettes would then be 50 cents, and as a result the illegal cigarettes are going to be purchased more, because there are now channels and ways of the distribution chains, basically, in terms of business. So it will then mean that the liquor and cigarette industry are now doomed. And as you can see, each and every year, which industry is the one that's heavily being taxed? The so-called sin tax is the cigarette industry as well as the liquor industry, and the prices always go up, and as they go up, the buyers of this product never stop buying this product. They keep buying this product. So as a result, you can see that the government normally likes to make money out of this industry, but next year there will not be no money to be taxed for the government, in order for the government to be able to assist and function when it comes to paying the ever-growing wage of the government employees, the ever-growing number of people who needs the grants. And as you know now, there's been a promise of 350 rands per month that they've given to the people. And you know, once you start giving people free things, you put yourself in pressure, mostly political pressure, in order to continue giving them what you already said you're giving them. And as you know, there's been a loss of 3 million jobs. Those 3 million number of people pay tax. So a number of people that are going to be taxed next year will be fewer. I mean, this is just the start, obviously. We don't know how many people would then have lost their jobs by December. We're in July, almost just after half year. So in March next year, when you see the first quarters of next year, and when there's going to be budgets and everything, it will be worse. So we'll be anticipating a high taxation of the diminished number of people who are mostly are the ones who are sustaining the nation in terms of paying tax, because the percentage is way too low. Remember, we were having about 27%, 28% of unemployed number of people in the republic. So one just doesn't know the percentage of people who are going to be unemployed, and the percentage of people who then would be employed that are going to be supporting the rest of them. And the government is also now talking about universal income. They're having talks now, as if money grows from the tree. So we'll see. So ending up here, talking about people with political connection and so forth, there's an article about a member of a political party here. The article states, Limpopo EFF councillor nabbed for possession of illicit cigarette granted bail. So it has just begun. So mostly now you can see in the news, it's now obviously political connections in terms of illicit cigarettes as well as illicit booze. It's connected politicians and some of the rogue enforcers would be enforcers of the law. We've seen in many articles that now it's the police now who are selling alcohol and making a whole lot of money. I guess most people now are not driving around all over the place, and then they're not getting stopped and extorted in terms of bribes now. So it looks like now the rogue police now are selling alcohol in order to make money and medicate, just to medicate the situation. So this article, it's from the Citizen, 21 July. It reads, police say the ward councillor was found in possession of 41 cartons of Remington Gold and 35 loose packets of Royal Express cigarettes. An EFF councillor in Limpopo who was arrested on Sunday for being in possession of illicit cigarette was on Tuesday granted bail after appearing in court. Spokesperson Brigadier Motlafela Mujapelo said the 44-year-old ward councillor from the Musina municipality, Tamano Abel Rasilabe, was arrested on Sunday night for being in possession of illicit cigarettes. Notice the fellow is from Musina. And today's incident of a tanker also that had illicit cigarette inside, it came across the border from the Bed Bridge border. So now you can see connections of the networks of people who are trying to feed the markets that it's thirsty and gasping to get a cigarette and have a little bit of a smoke. Mujapelo, the article continues, said Rasilabe was granted 1,000 bail after his second appearance at the Musina Magistrate Court. He said the suspect was arrested along the Manenze public road by police officers conducting an operation. The members conducting the operation spotted a suspicious vehicle traveling along the said road and then stopped it. Upon searching the vehicle, they found 41 cartons of Remington Gold and 35 loose packets of Royal Express cigarettes, Mujapelo said. He said Rasilabe's case was remanded to 26 August for further police investigation. So this is just the beginning, and you can see it's not going to stop here. So regardless, even though we hear all those phony Hong Kong stories about ever since the Christmas of selling of alcohol has stopped, our hospitals are nicely waiting for folks who would unfortunately then been contacted the virus. They will find the space. It was this big elephant in the house called alcohol that's causing all this ills of our communities, of our society. So that's just my story. Thank you for watching the Mamuji show. My name is Mamuji and I'm out.